Greetings everyone, this is Sister Crystal here with the Sister Crystal Show, and today I am going to show you how to cut a whole rotten pineapple. Yes, and the reason I'm doing this, I must give the disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only. Also, I do not recommend anyone eat a rotten pineapple or any type of rotten fruit. I've had this pineapple for almost a month. It was given to me, and you know, it was nice and beautiful when I first got it. Unfortunately, I didn't get a picture of it. I did not know it was going to take me a month before I end up cutting into it. But part of the issue is, number one, I'm not used to having a whole pineapple, so I don't know how to properly cut it. And if you can see here, I've got my gloves on. These are like prickly and hard. Well, they're not anymore because they're rotten, so they're nice and soft. But when it was not rotten, those these little pricks, they're prickly and kind of hard. I rarely have a full pineapple or a whole pineapple. And I kept saying like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut into it. A lot of stuff happened. I didn't have time. So I'm like, you know what? I'm still going to make a video. I'm going to show people how to cut a whole rotten pineapple. Maybe if I'm blessed with another pineapple, if it's either real cheap or free, I'll try it again. Okay, so here we go. So this is a one-take thing. If I mess up, there's no do-overs. Now I'm going to explain what I'm about to do first from what I've seen, and I'm trying, it's kind of difficult to try to get this camera set up so the people can see. Okay, so I'm going to cut the top of it first. Now with this being rotten, we're going to see how many flies or whatever flies out of this thing. Also knife safety, keep it the blade away from you. I've got my gloves on just because I was going to wear gloves anyway, but especially now with this being rotten. Okay, this is Sister Crystal here, and I'm back. Alright, so I'm going to explain what I'm about to do. Again, this is a rotten pineapple. I do not recommend anybody have a rotten pineapple. Definitely do not eat the rotten pineapple. Please do not. You could get sick. This is for entertainment purposes only. Alright, so I'm going to start with the top of the pineapple first, right here. And then I'm going to cut the bottom part, and then I'm going to cut it in half. So that's the order in which I'm going to do this. And hopefully you can see this. I'm going to cut the top part. And also with this being rotten, there's some fruit flies or whatever. So let's start. Ooh, okay. Well, I guess it's not going to allow me to cut it so easy. This is the first time trying this. Darn it. Good and rotten too. Oh, okay. There's no do-overs with this. Okay. Alright, this top part is gone. And I have a bag right here to throw away. Alright. Good and rotten. Look at that. Yeah. Okay. So throw that away. And then imagine if this was was not rotten, but it is. So the next part, you're going to cut the bottom part. Again, oh, it's nice and squishy. So I guess that's what happens when you wait too long to cut a pineapple. Here we go. Can you see that? Good and rotten. And you're cutting the bottom. But imagine, you know, if it wasn't rotten, it would be nice and clear and juicy. But it's nice and rotten. Look at that. Look at that. Hold on. Okay. I'm back. So I'm going to take this bottom part here and throw it away. was going to throw it away anyway if it wasn't rotten. And the next part you have to do is you got to cut in the middle. Again, this is rotten. I wouldn't suggest anybody to keep a pineapple this long. There we go. Nice and rotten. Look at that. Ew. Nice and rotten in the middle. There's no do-overs with this. No do-overs. Nice and rotten. Okay. So you split it in half. And again, the technique that I'm using is the technique you would still use if, you know, if this wasn't rotten. So from what I've seen, I already cut it in half. Then you want to cut the core. This is the core part right here. So you want to cut the core like that. With these different techniques, you do waste a lot of it. Again, this whole thing is getting thrown away because it is rotten. But just showing the technique. See, that half. And then imagine if this wasn't rotten. Okay, this part, a lot of the core is in the middle. So you're going to cut that core out. So that's the core. See there? Core. See that? So I'm going to throw that away. Now imagine if this was a good pineapple. I'm going to put this other one off to the side here. Nice and rotten. So you're cutting this. I'm going to cut it because you're cutting this part off, the prickly part. So imagine if this was not rotten. See? So that's the prickly part here. Yeah. But we're throwing the whole thing away. This part, this is a good part. So if it wasn't rotten, this would be the part you would keep. See, we're going to do all that. This part will be the part you would keep, but it's rotten, so you're going to throw this away. But that's a technique. We're throwing this whole thing away. Again, these two sides, imagine if it wasn't rotten, but this one is. Cut that. Look at that. See, if it was not rotten, you throw that part away because that's the prickly part. See that? See? Then you cut again. Cut down like that. And you're going to cut this part. So here, these are slightly better. Again, this is rotten. Yuck. So here we go. Throw that part away. That would be a part you would keep if it wasn't rotten. Same thing with this one. Let's do this again. This rotten part, this is the core. You just cut, make it. And then also, I'm not an expert at knife safety. Make sure you keep your fingers away from the blade. You're going to cut it all the way down. You just cut this whole thing out. Well, we're just going to fold this whole thing. But this is mostly core anyway. If it was a nice pineapple that wasn't rotten, you know, this is mostly the core. You don't want that. It's hard. So here's another part. Cut again. And then cut this part off. So it looks like you waste a lot of it if you're not a really good pineapple cutter. But the main thing is you don't eat the prickly part. Again, nice and rotten. Do not eat rotten pineapple or any kind of rotten fruit. Okay? Look at that. So these, what we're left is, imagine if these were nice and fresh. You just cut it up the way you want to in the chunks that you like. See there? Cut cut it up. Oh, hopefully you can see because I can't do a redo. Look at that. And I'm watching my counter, but I'm hoping you guys can see. So there we go. Nice and rotten. So that is how you cut a whole rotten pineapple. These are nice and rotten. I'm going to throw them away in the trash. We are not eating these. In fact, I'll just show, I don't know if I can show. Thrown away. Thrown in the trash. That's what you do with rotten rotten fruits. Throw them away and don't eat them. Alright, and there you go. This is SistahCrystal. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back with another DIY video, very unique. Thank you so much for your time, and feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, take care. Oh, and don't eat rotten fruit.